Oh, hello! Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to continue on with my dinosaur series. I want to do one that everyone is familiar with. It's called a pteranodon. It's a flying reptile. You know, you've probably seen some of these in Jurassic Park. And it had about a 27-foot wingspan. And I found it to be, it's a very interesting dinosaur, and I'll show you how to do that from start to finish. I'll show you the types of clay that we can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens. And, you know, I can use it over and over again. As I mentioned in the past, I used to use when I was a little kid, and I love this clay because when I got bored with the items that I made, I just made new ones. Another type of clay that you can use, which can be bought in any art stores, is air hardening clay, which will harden like in a couple of hours or overnight. And then you can paint it, and so you'll have a permanent sculpture. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the oven at about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. And you can drill it, sand it, you can make a tremendous amount of detail, and I just really love working with this clay. I'll show you the size balls of clay we'll be using today. There are this size ball of clay here, and that will be used for the base. These two balls of clay here will be used for the wings. And then this ball of clay here will be used for the head and the body on the pteranodon. And I also have some aluminum wire, and we'll be using this also. This piece here we'll be using for the wings, and then this here will be used for the body and going into the base. And I will show you how to incorporate those in a few minutes. The first thing that we want to do is we want to build the base. So what I want to do is take this ball of clay here and just tap it on the table like this, just like that. And then what we're going to do is kind of work it, kind of push it into the table like that. We want to give it a rock-like shape. So I'm going all the way around, see, kind of doing that. And just work it like that. And then what I want to do is get a piece of tin foil. You can usually buy this tin foil in the supermarket or CVS or something. And what you want to do is crinkle it up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and just kind of tap it around the base, and it gives it that rock-like effect. I'm going to pick this up now and just kind of see I'm dabbing that. Just kind of push into the clay like that, and make that nice base. So, and that's what it will look like. See the nice texture on that? The paper here, or the aluminum paper here, that gives a nice texture.
Again, say aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil, okay, yes. Okay, and the aluminum foil here gives it a very nice texture. And now what we want to do is I want to make the head and the body, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take this ball of clay here and just work it like this, just like this. We're going to lengthen it out, just like that, and do that. And I'm just going to compare it to my model here, see how much more we need to do. And then we're going to I'm going to proceed to make this head, this piece here with the beak. So we're going to take this, see this, how I'm kind of pulling that out, just like that. We're going to work it like that. See how that gives it a nice point? And we'll proceed to pull this side out also. See this here? See how I'm pulling that out? And we'll work that like that. just like that. And just like that. See that, how that looks? And what we'll do is just kind of keep working it like that. And I want to make sure that it's about the right size. Looks like they're approximately the same size. And then I want to make sure that we get the body like this. Like that. So what we want to do now is I want to take and use this aluminum wire. So I'm going to put this in the center, but what I want to first do is twist this a little bit in the bottom. Just take this and just kind of maybe twist it a little bit like that with these pliers. See how I twisted that? And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put this up through the center of the sculpture, just like this. And this will give it just like that. And then what I want to do is I want to take and put this into the base. So you can take this and kind of push it down into the base, like this. See that? That way. And we're going to have him kind of like sitting there, like that. And then what I want to do is I want to make the wings. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to make these wings right here. And this is the shape we want. I'll show you. See, that's what the back of the wing will look like. And this is what the front of the wing will look like in either side. So what we'll do is I'm going to take this ball of clay here, and we're going to flatten it out with our fingers like this. Just like this. Just like that. I'm going to flatten it out nicely. Just keep working it. And one of the things you can do is we can kind of put it down on the table. So we'll put that on the table, kind of squeeze it a little bit like that. That way you give it a nice flat shape. See, I'm just kind of flattening that out. And then we can try to do it from the other side. I want to see how close this is to the actual wings, so we need to work it a little more. So just see how I'm just flattening this out? We're just going to keep working it. Just like that. Just going to keep working it. You're going to make it nice and thin. See, I'm just working that, and we're making that nice shape. Make sure, see how big it is here, comparing it. Gonna lengthen it out a little bit. See, that's the shape we want. But I just want to test it against the model that I had made previously and see how much more I need to work the clay. Just like that. See how we're flattening it out, pinching it, and it's giving it, and then what I want to do is just put this on the table for a minute and just kind of push it up against the table like that. We'll do the same to the other side. That way it'll make it nice and flat. And that's about the size that we want. And we're going to proceed to do the other one. And you're just taking, flatten it like that. Use your fingers. And then we're going to see I'm kind of making that little point there. So I'm taking my finger and almost making that little triangular point. Make that. We'll just keep working it. Just like that. Flatten it out. In a minute we'll put it on the table. I just want to take my fingers and work it as much as we can. Like this. Just like that. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to put it on the table because I can work it a little more. So you can flatten that out a little bit more. See, I'm kind of just pushing down on that. Just like that. And working it. Make it nice and flat, and then we'll go from the other side and we'll do the same thing. And then I'll see how close it is to the size of the other one. We're almost there. We need to work it a little bit more. See that the two sizes. See right up here needs to be made a little bigger. So I will take and squeeze that a little more. And pull it out a little more. And work that. And then we'll compare them one more time. See, they're approximately the same size now. If they're a little off, that's okay. And then what we want to do is now we want to put these down on the ground like this, like that. And what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece of metal here, right here, or the aluminum wire. I'm just going to twist it a little bit. And I want to make sure I got it in the right spot. Because this is what's going to give it its strength when it's being fired in the oven that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and press this in. See, I'm going to take and press this into the clay, like this. Take and just push that in like that. And then what we're going to do is we have a little extra clay here on the side. I'm going to take and cover that up a little bit. Now that we've got it in there, I'm going to take the clay and cover it over. See this? That way we can't see the aluminum wire. Just like that. Just take and work. See, I'm pushing that clay there. Putting it over, and I'll smooth that out a little bit. Just like that. And then we'll take and we'll cover the other side. Like that. See how I'm taking and just working that clay in to cover that aluminum wire so you can't see it. Just going to work that over and smoothing it over. And I'll pick it up in a minute and I'll show you what we're going to do. Just want to try to smooth that out a little bit. Now, it's kind of stuck to the table, but we'll get it up. Let's see. sticks to the table a little bit, but that's okay. Just gonna gently, gently lift it. Don't worry, it seemed to come out, but we're just gonna cover that back over. See how I did that? Just take my fingers and go back over it like that. We're gonna come in from behind now, right here, and we're gonna put that right there. So what I want to do is get it roughly right here. And just kind of push it in. And then we'll work the wings in like that. And then I'll take this here, cover it up. See, I'm covering that up. That way, and I'll get and we're gonna just build that up a little bit like that. Take some clay here. We're gonna build up the back a little bit. I'm gonna roll it out. See these pieces? And we're just gonna attach it like right here. I just want to make sure, raise that a little bit like that. See how I'm doing that? I'm going to just work that in a little bit. And I'll do it from the other side also. I'm going to take this, build the back up a little bit right here. Put that like that. So I'm kind of pinching that together. And I just want to kind of work that in like that. Just like that. Take and just try to make that. Trying to get that so it's more attached to the rock. Like that. And then he does have a little tail back here that we'll add that in a minute. See, I'm kind of pushing put more clay there. And then we're going to take, and I'm going to make that little area for the tail. So just take and roll it between your fingers like this. See this? And kind of make it like a little point. And then we're going to attach that in the back. See how I attach that? And what I'm going to do is see if I can make that a little, push that up a little more. See how I kind of, when I just push the clay in a little more so the wings come down more on top of where the rock is. And this here, we will fix this right here, the wire. Just push it in like this. You take and you wrap the clay around the wire again, you can't see it. So we're just going to work it like that. And then from the front, I'm going to take and work this a little more like this into the wings. See how I'm taking my fingers and pinching the clay? Just kind of work it a little more like that. And then we'll do that from the other side also. I'm going to take that and work it. Just take it and work that clay like that. See how I'm doing that? Just take and pinch it into the wings. Just like that. And I'll try to smooth that out a little more with my fingers. Just like that. And just like that. So you can start to see it's really starting to take shape now. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to make the face. So what I'm going to do is take and make the eyes. I want to use my model here and see exactly where I want to put, see this toothpick? And take that toothpick, put it in, and just kind of rotate it a little bit so you can see the eye. See the little hole that I just made? And then we're going to proceed to do that on the other side. So I'm going to take this, the toothpick here, and make that right about, let me make sure it's in the right spot. And we take that, see I'm rotating that? I'm going to take that, just kind of rotate it a little bit. And I want to make sure the eyes are about the same size, so I'll rotate this one a little more. And then we want to make the nose. And the nostrils will be made right here. See those nostrils? On the black right there? We're gonna make two little holes for those nostrils. So we got this here. And then I'll do that right there. And then we can make the mouth. So what we'll do is take this, make a line like this. Take this line and go right down like this. And we'll do that exact same thing on the other side. See this? We'll take the toothpick here. Just take and work that. And go right down like that. So now that we got the head done, the next thing that we want to do is we want to make a couple of little arms. So we're going to make these arms here, right here, that you see in the yellow, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to take the approximate size of the ball of clay, and let me see, I'm just going to make sure this is the right size. I might have to take a little clay away. Yep, I will. I'll roll this into a ball. I'll show you the size that we want. See this ball of clay here? That's the size of the arm right there. And I want to make another one exact same size. Let me see. I want to make sure just a little bit more. And they'll be about the same size. So what we want to do is take this arm now, and we can take this, we can put this down on the table, right here, and we can roll it a little bit. I want to make sure it's approximately the right size, and we'll roll the other one the same way. Make that the same size. And they are approximately the same size. I want to check it against our other model here. And see that? That's about the same size. So what I'm going to do is take this here and go like this. See that? I'm placing that. And I'll kind of go like that. For the arm, just going to work it like that. And We'll do the exact same thing on the other side. Take this, put it there, and then go out to approximately there. See how we're creating the arms? And we're just going to push that up against the wing. Just like that. And I'm going to do it from both sides, see? See that, how I'm pushing that up against the wing? Just kind of work that in like that. And then the next thing what we want to do is we want to make the hands, which are here. See these three like little claws that are brown? We're going to work on making those. I'll show you how to make those. We're going to take 3 little pieces of clay. See about that size here? And we're going to make the hands. I'll do that very quickly. Take and get these about the same size. Make those little balls. This is an easy way to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to proceed to make like little take this and make like little claws like this. So that's the first one. We'll make the second one. And then the third one. Just like that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to place these 3 together. See I'm combining those? We put those 3 together. And then what we can do, don't worry if the proportions are a little off. I'm just trying to show you the techniques just so you can make your own. And if you can always worry about the proportions later, making it bigger or smaller. But see how I just added that? And we'll proceed to make the other one. So I'm going to make that little claw. See that? Think the upside down ice cream cone, like I mentioned in the past. We'll make that quickly. Upside down like that. We'll do that. Just like that. And then we're going to combine these. So I put those 2 together. Going to squeeze them. And then take that one and squeeze it. We'll make that little claw-like area. They're about the same size, roughly. And then we're going to attach it right here. Just like that. And now, see how that's really starting to take shape? Then the next thing that we want to do is create a couple of legs. So I'm going to get a couple of balls of clay here, and I'll show you the size we want. We're using the additive technique right now. We're going to take this is the size ball that you want, these 2 here. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll those into the legs. So what I would do is just squeeze it between your fingers, make it into the shape of like a little log. And we're going to do the same for the other one. just like that. Make that nice little leg. They're approximately the same size. And we're going to take, and I'm going to place that right down here on the Pteranodon. See how I'm putting those there? And one of the things we can do is we can actually work this clay here, and we could make the little claws. See, I'm just doing this. And you can pull out those claws. This is another way of doing it. Let me see, I'll try to go from underneath here. See this? I'm just taking, and you can work the clay like that. See how I just did that? Created that foot or claw. So there's two ways of doing it. You can build it separately and combine it like I did with the hands, or you can pull it out this way. And we're going to do the exact same thing down here. See that? I'm just taking and pinching, pulling it out to create that claw. And we'll do the same thing here. I'll try to flip them a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Just like that. And then we'll do, I'm going to take and work that third and final one, like that. So as you can see how we got the three little claws, and I'll try to squeeze that a little more. See how we did that? Very simple and basic. So we basically, I'm just going to smooth out a few more areas. But that is your Pteranodon. And see how easy it was to make? Like the eyes with the nose here and the mouth, the little hands with the claws, the arms, how we press that into there. And by using the wire, aluminum wire in here, once that's fired, it'll make a really nice shape and stay in that shape. If we didn't use the wire like that, this thing wouldn't be able to stay up like this. So that's the Pteranodon. The next step in the process that we need to do is I'll just smooth it out a little more, and then I will fire this in the oven, and it'll be ready to paint. And now that we've fired the Pteranodon in the oven, it is now ready to paint. And I will show you the colors that we will use to paint it. There's acrylic paints, which can be bought in any art store, that we're going to use. And there's 18 in this package. So what we're going to do is we're going to use orange. We got orange, yellow, black, brown, and gray. Those are the colors that we'll need this week. Then I'll show you which size brushes we need. We have a brush here that's very fine. That's the one that we're going to use for doing the eyes and the nose. And then for the claws, we'll use this one, this size brush here. And then for the main part of the body, we're going to use this. But I'll use that for doing the base also. And then for the yellow, I'll use this one. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with the gray base. So we're going to take this gray paint here, and we're going to paint the gray base. And that's this piece right here. So I'll show you how to do it. We'll take this, and we're just going to dab it like this, and go back and forth. And we're going to go all around the base in that manner. See how we're doing that? Just like that. You're going to do the back as we're doing now, and then you'll also do the front. See how we're doing that? So that will make it look like a rock. He's sitting on a rock. The next thing that we want to do is we want to do the body. So I'll just clean this up a little bit because I'll be using that again in a minute. We're going to do the yellow body. We want to paint the yellow body right here. We want to paint the arms yellow also, right here. See this? We want to paint those just like that. Back and forth, back and forth. Don't worry if you get a little paint on the other parts of, you can always, we're going to be able to touch that up. So we get that. And then I'm going to paint the other side of the claw like this. See that? Because the brown claws are going to be up above. So just take and paint around like that. And you're going to proceed to do the same thing on the other side. And we want to do the body. So we'll do this, and you paint. See how we're painting that? You might have to give it a couple of coats, but it's up to you. If you want to see how we're doing that, that's what the front of the body will look like with the yellow. I won't paint all the yellow, but just to give you the idea. And then the next thing that we'll do is we want to paint the brown claws. Do the same on the other side. And then what we want to do also is we want to turn it around so you can do the back. See how we're going to get them from the back? Just let's see how I'm doing that. And you're going to want to do that for both sides. I'll try to show you from up here. See this? How we did that? Just like that. And then the other place you want to paint the brown claws are right here. The hands, or they look like fingers. Just like that. See how we're doing that? And then what we can do is kind of flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. See that? See how I just did that? And we'll paint the body of the Pteranodon that color. So what we're going to do, I'll show you in the back. See this? You go back and forth, back and forth. Just like that. See that? Go back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to paint the other wing in the same manner. And then we can come to the front of the bird, or the flying reptile, the Pteranodon. And you paint like that. See how we're painting that wing? Just go back and forth, back and forth. Just like that. And then we're going to paint the legs, the orange color. Paint right up into where we painted the brown for the claws. And then you want to paint the head. The head is going to be orange. See this? Just kind of paint that like that. And you're going to go all the way around the Pteranodon in that manner and paint the color orange. The last thing that we want to do is I'll show you is we're going to paint the eyes. And let's see, we're going to paint the eyes, and then we're going to paint the nose. So I'll show you here. Let's see, we want to make sure that, see this right here? We're going to just dab this in here. Now I did smudge it a little bit. What we can do is paint the orange over that again. And then I want to do the nostril. Right there. And then we'll do the other nostril over here. And then we'll do the other eye. So what I would do is, in this situation here, where I've smudged the paint a little bit, I would go back over this with the orange when this dries, and I'll show you the way that it should look. That's the great thing about when you're working with these paints. Or just smudge it a little bit, you can change it afterward, and you can paint over it again. This is what the final version of the Pteranodon should look like. You can see the nice gray base that we made, the rock. It's all painted gray. You can see the brown claws on the feet here. And then they got the little brown claws up here. And then you have the yellow for the arms and the belly. And then you can see how I painted the entire Pteranodon orange. And then you can see the nice black eyes and the nostrils there. That's what it should look like. So when you touch it up with your orange paint, should look like that when it's completed. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next week, and goodbye for now.